the broadcast. He is very importantly a Bangalore citizen. Mr. Bijur, thank you very much for your time here on Mirror Now. We are seeing pictures of the traffic jam. There is traffic that is moving, but very, very slowly. Through the day, we have seen pictures that would shame any global city. What's been going through your mind as you've been seeing television channels broadcast these pictures? A sense of deja vu and a sense that kabhi kuch badlega nahi, nothing ever changes?
Yeah, I think it's a sad sight today. Bangalore is a massive meme today. And, our tech parks are essentially water parks. And that's exactly what's happened to many of our residences where, the cars are down. Well, in a different manner of speaking, this is going to be big business for people who repair cars and put cars back on the streets, or motorcycles back on the streets. I think big city, big problem, bad planning, and I think bad planning is coming to roost today, and that's exactly the kind of visuals you and I are seeing.
Mr. Bijur, this is not, as I said, the first time we are seeing these pictures this year. We've seen them on August 30th as well, when the IT companies finally had to write to the government saying that we have incurred a loss of 225 crores. We'll talk about that in just a bit. But I want to ask you, there are IT companies that have been threatening to move out of Bangalore. Do you see that happening because of the complete collapse in urban infrastructure, because of what happens every time it rains in Bangalore?
It all depends on what other choices are available. Most of the time, an IT company which has come into Bangalore is locked into Bangalore. Maybe new investments, people will rethink. People will say, maybe I don't want to be in those areas which were lakes originally. Because when I see the water situation today, it can be mapped. And let me assure you that wherever water is clogged and wherever water is reaching are the low-lying areas. And these were lake beds. Many of them were lake beds or lake beds surrounding areas. Now, when you actually go and build within lake beds, outside lake beds, clogging together the arteries that take water out, which include our Raja Kaluways. We have a huge network of our Raja Kaluways, which are the drainage system of the city, which is meant to be a clean Raja Kaluway. Buildings, constructions come on them, blockages, etc. This is what happens. We have actually written a self-fulfilling prophecy for Bengaluru, which is coming true today. Whether people are going to move out of the city, I don't think that'll happen, because people are quite comfortable in the city. Bengaluru is a completely different ecosystem to be within. It is a magnet city for so many reasons. People will crib, people will go through the trouble, but people will stay. And that is the problem. We don't talk enough about this problem after the problem is over, till it comes back again.
So why does the problem keep coming back? Bangalore is a city that provides IT solutions to the entire world, and they can't fix the flooding problem. It happens, as I said, every year.
Well,
and what does this do for the image of the city?
Yeah, it's terrible for the image of the city, because I keep saying, we are terrific in our software, but terrible with our hardware. The software ecosystem of the city is brilliant, and we work at cutting edge technologies. We work on the metaverse, the IoT, bleeding edge stuff. But the point is, when it comes to hardware, which belongs to some other terrain, which is to say there's a governance structure that needs to put hardware together, and we depend on that governance structure. That's where we tend to fault. Okay. So I think, it's about not battling out the small battle. We have to, take the bull by the horns and battle the big war and say that, hey, we're going to sort it out once and for all. If not, give us 6, 7, 8 months, it'll come back.
Okay. I'm fairly certain it'll come back. Mr. Bijur, thank you very much for joining us.